Hey y'all, you are listening to another episode of The Spiritual Homegirl, where we discuss all things concerning self-development and bettering our spirit, but from the homie perspective. Somebody that's going through the journey day by day, just like you. Hey y'all, it's your girl Maria, The Spiritual Homegirl. We're back with another episode of The Spiritual Homegirl Podcast. Now, before we get started, y'all know I can't do any podcast episode without thanking you all for listening. So thank you for listening, boo-boo. Out of the tens and thousands of podcasts that are out there in podcast land, you choose to lend me your ears once a week for about an hour or so, and I hella appreciate that. Technically, today is day number 104 that I have been podcasting every day straight since January 2nd, 2021. And I'm really grateful to be here. I'm not sure when exactly it's going to end, but whenever Spirit says that's enough, then that'll be enough. I thought that it was going to be my birthday, but apparently not. That did not happen. So we're just going to ride it until it's time to stop. First things first, if you have not signed up for my Power Up Pandemic Reset Virtual Bootcamp, what are you waiting on, boo? If you need to get your stuff together, if your power is a little bit low these days, if your confidence is a little bit low, you need to tighten up. If somebody done drained you with something, you need to be re-energized and poured back into, homegirls got your back. Just go to pandemicreset.com to sign up. And make sure you clear your schedule for 2.5 hours because at 10 a.m. on Saturday, April 24th, Pacific Standard Time, we will be, Pacific Daylight Time. But you know how I feel about that. I feel like daylight savings time is a scam, but it's no other conversation. Either way, homegirls got your back for 2.5 hours at 10 a.m. Pacific Time. We have a virtual workbook for those to follow along, as well as a free gift. It's something I have not debuted yet, and everybody that comes will get it for free. So to sign up, you can do so again at pandemicreset.com. I'll also have the link to pandemicreset.com in my show notes. So today's episode was inspired by previous podcast guest, 1e3647417d30486e87348f39d35df209, otherwise known as 1e3 on social media. If you've been listening, you would know that he is a Yoruba priest, and we talked about his journey in African spirituality, and he's also a great content creator, and he actually inspired today's podcast episode. So he had a post that said, "Never be envious of someone else's accomplishments. Your time will come, or maybe it won't. Maybe the blessings they received aren't actually in alignment with your own destiny. Maybe the blessings you will receive are entirely different but better for you. Maybe it's best to walk fully in your path and await what the Creator has in store for you." And then he also goes to say, as Ifa reminds us in the Odu Otuafun, never compare your Ori with the Ori of another. And I really love this because I've said in the previous episode, as a thought, but not as a topic, and I really would like to do this. Everybody has to pay the cost to be the boss, right? That's what we hear. And sometimes we look at people thinking that we want their bossness, we want their status. But do we really want it? Especially when we don't know the cost that people paid to get it. Some people have paid in money. Some people have paid in blood, literally. Some people have paid in mental stability. Some people have paid in spirit. So you really don't know. When I say you, I mean we, because I'm never above my own advice. We really don't know the cost that people have to pay to get the things that we think we want or we're envious of for them having it. The grass is greener mentality is so dangerous because sometimes, like I always say, you think the grass is greener on the other side until you realize that it ain't nothing but weeds. Because even weeds appear to be something that grows and looks pretty until you realize it has nothing to offer. And when I say weeds, I don't mean weeds that can be used for medicinal purposes, because they can be. But I'm talking about the weeds that really don't add any value to your land, to your own personal garden. They just sprout up and they cause a nuisance. They grow like clockwork. And next thing you know, you got 3-foot high weeds in a matter of 4 days. So it's like sometimes we think because we see a much more lush landscape that that's automatically better, when we don't know the quality of what's growing out of that landscape. And we don't know what was put in that land to get something growing like that. So it's just really interesting. So the self-check today, which is going to be a very short episode, is to look at your garden and be happy for what is growing before you automatically discredit your garden because somebody else's garden looks to be a little bit more sustainable or looks like it could be growing better, quote unquote better. And not to mention, when it comes to paying the cost to be the boss, sometimes people pay a lot more than they like to let on. A lot of people don't like to say how exactly they paid for the things that they got. They rather just show you what they got. So again, before you sit there and discredit everything you got going on in your life, and again, when I say you, I mean we, because I'm never above my own advice. Sometimes some costs ain't really worth the trouble. You feel me? If you mean I gotta give my spirit or compromise my soul or some other standard of mine in order to get what they got, you can keep it. I'm cool on that. I'm cool. It may work for some, but when you know what I'm saying? So at some point you got to remember, like, that ain't for me, and that's okay, because what's for me is never going to be hard, super hard to have, because it will be aligned. And this is how I feel. I feel like if it's really meant for me, it will come to me in a way where I don't have to feel like I'm selling myself or selling myself short even, or compromising myself in order to get this. So I just wanted to kick it on y'all brains in case some of y'all feeling a way about people and whether you are enough, because you are. Timing is everything. Again, everybody loves to show the fruits, but never the roots and never the process of the growth. You feel me? So again, your plants in your garden, they growing at the pace they're supposed to, as long as you watering them and nurturing them and fertilizing them and clearing your garden of bugs and pests and things that can destroy the root system, that could actually destroy your plants and the ability to produce fruits. Don't worry about who's producing fruit at this time, because you might end up wanting fruit off of a garden that ain't even ripe or ain't even sweet or might be rotten on the inside. Looks can be very deceiving. So again, just make sure, man, no matter what, do your absolute best if you can. I ain't trying to tell you what to do, but for me, I'm just saying it works. I've done my absolute best to stay in a state of gratitude. My journey ain't been perfect, and I ain't even gonna act like it's perfect. You feel me? But I will say that staying in a consistent space of gratitude has really helped me stay focused on my lane and nobody else's stuff. I don't want what nobody else have. No, nobody's life is so dope to where I'm like, yo, I want that. Again, the reason why is because, like my father always said, it's a front end cost and it's a back end cost. It's going to cost you somehow. It's just a matter of whether you got to do it up front or whether you got to pay at the end. And for me, if I don't have all the details of the transaction, I don't want to make it, nor do I want to switch with somebody who appears to have more than me. I am good. I'm good. So I don't know how y'all feel about that. Let me know. Hit me up. Let me know if this resonates. If it doesn't, any stories, cost stories, any way that you learn how to not be envious of other people, or how to, really accept the blessings as yours. I would love to hear. You can definitely hit me up, Maria@spiritualhomegirl.com, or you can hit me up in social media, what have you. But that was today's episode. Again, if you want to sign up for the Pandemic Reset virtual boot camp, I actually talk about this a lot more in depth, because we talk about a lot of the things that we go through that take our power. Because to keep it 1,000 with y'all, looking at other people's lives and wanting that for ourselves without actually assessing our own lives and seeing the value in that can drain our power. Automatically discrediting what we have and discounting our blessings is a power killer. Looking at somebody else and automatically thinking that we ain't worth a darn because of their stuff, that's a power killer. Letting people make us think that somebody else's life is something that we should aspire to instead of working on being the best us we can is a power killer. That is why I wanted to do the Power Up Pandemic Reset Virtual Bootcamp, because sometimes we have low power and don't even realize it. People say emotions are normal and envy is normal. And respectfully speaking, I don't really get that. And the reason why I don't is because I feel like how you handle the envy is really what makes the difference. Being happy for people is one thing, but having a weird feeling towards somebody else, and again, this is just my personal opinion, that is a power issue. It is. Wanting somebody else's life to where you're automatically dissatisfied with your own, that to me, that sounds like that is a low power situation. So that's why I want to do this boot camp, to help people not care about other people's lives. Yeah, that's good for them. That's good for him. That's good for her. But I'm good in where I'm at because I'm on my own journey. I'm doing my own thing in my own way. And I got my own blessings. So that's what we're going to go over. That's one of the things we're going over in the virtual bootcamp. Okay. So if you want to sign up again, you can do so at pandemicreset.com. To find me anywhere else, you can do so at Spiritual Homegirl on Patreon, Clubhouse, YouTube, Facebook, and Instagram. I'm still doing my Aries Sun Sign Challenge for those who want to sign up for my Patreon. Tiers start at $7. I dropped the tip and, yeah, I'm going to drop another maybe 2 or 3 tips before the end of Aries season. For those who don't know, I'm in my Patreon. I do a sun sign challenge. Every time the sun changes signs, we work on ways to better our lives while using the energy of the sign of whatever sun it's in. So we are currently in Aries. So we out here gaming up Aries style. And we're going to do that in Taurus in another week once the sun changes in Taurus. So we really going up. I'm really excited because this is something that I really think is great and introspective. And I think it's something that has helped me. So I just wanted to share it with you all. So sign up for that. You can do so. And not to mention, they got a discount on on the boot camp. So, but to sign up, you can do so at, again, patreon.com/spiritual homegirl. If you want to shop at the homegirl shop, you can do so. Go to spiritualhomegirl.shop. If you want a discount, you can text the word homegirl10 to 81493. Tap in, get you a discount. Actually, I'm gonna even give y'all some more because I actually need some help figuring out what y'all need from me. I would like some feedback. I will incentivize you at the store if you need to. Get you some things and you have been on the fence, I got a discount code for y'all. So as a matter of fact, you can click my form. It's a jot form in my show notes. And you can take the survey and then you can go ahead and get a bigger discount and shop around if you like. So I'm going to do that. I'm going to have that up for a couple days, and then I'm going to take it down. We're going to continue to move as normal. So I really would like some feedback with this, actually. So again, please click my show notes to sign up. If you want to sign up for Tribe Letter, you can do so at spiritualhomegirlpodcast.com or click my show notes as well. And if you go to the shop, I think it also asks you for your phone number if you want the text club or the email or both. Just depends on what you want to share. So that is it, boo-boo. Don't forget pandemicreset.com if you're ready to get your power back. And that has been today's episode of the Spiritual Homegirl Podcast. Shout out to Ade. I put his link in my show notes as well if you want to get in touch with him. And remember, y'all, trust the journey, trust yourself, and be grateful for what is growing in your own garden. All right? Love y'all. pandemicreset.com. Peace. This episode has been produced by producer extraordinaire Jason Tracademics Valerio.